Let's go. Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? Hey, how are ya? Welcome back to another edition of the UNBOXXD podcast, where we take controversial topics and we unbox them and we explain to you what's really going on. My name's Cody, and I'll be your host. I'm always here with my co-host. His name is
Chris Bocz.
And he's shredded right now. We're going to get into it.
We are.
Yeah, you're shredski.
We have a lot to talk about.
We do. We have a beer here. There's a reason for it. We'll get to it.
Let's get to that.
We're wearing some stuff. You want to talk about what we're wearing?
Yeah.
Real
so
quick? To the group.
Let's take a quick look. You'll see.
Yeah.
You can see the back here.
Oh yeah.
So it's Anti-Culture Culture Club, because if you follow us, you know how toxic this culture has become. Yep. So we are very anti that. We are about personal excellence. We are about faith. We're about working hard, being contributing members of society.
Yeah.
And then you may not notice it, but on the hats,
I just showed you.
it's very subtle, but it's intentional to piss off a certain type of person.
Yeah.
But it says XY. And what is XY?
Well, XY is your chromosomes as a male.
Yeah.
Right? So XX
weird.
is female, and then XY is male.
Strange.
The whole concept really came from, it's kind of a funny story. So I was at Whole Foods, and it was Chloe and I, my girlfriend and I, and we were hanging out, grabbing some wine, and they have the best brown sugar butter cookies in the entire world, by the way.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Huh.
And they're always by the register. So we're grabbing them, and some purple-haired freak, I'm just kidding, some purple-haired human that says they, them, lamp, shade, fuck bag, whatever her thing said. It wasn't even her name. It was her name, whatever. I don't know what it was. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just being honest. And if you can hate me for it, I don't care. But Chloe, we leave the store. She was very rude, by the way. Very rude.
Wow.
So we leave the store, and Chloe goes to me, she's like, we should literally make hats that say our chromosomes, X, Y, and XX, and try and piss them off. Because if they're going to have name tags with lampshade, they, them, she, her, he, him, we might as well have our hats. So
awesome.
That's where the hats came from. And then we had a very similar shirt to this.
Yeah, back in the day.
And that we wore all the time. That was Anti-Hype Club. But
Yep.
We're very anti this culture right now. And so we decided to make these. So we'll be wearing these. They are for sale. Just hit me up. DM one of us. And we'll send them to you super cheap, because we want to get the word out. And that's the whole point.
Totally.
We're not trying to make money off of it, but if you want one, let us know, which is cool.
I saw a funny video about it. Says there's only 3 classifications of people. It's male, female, and then mentally ill. There's no they, them. It's you fall under the mentally ill category.
We've talked about
you need some serious help.
Dude, yeah, for sure. I walked in today. You don't even know this. It was fine. So I go to the same Starbucks every day. I'm a creature of habit. You just came off a very large thing of creature of habit. We're going to get to it. But I walk into Starbucks today, as I always do, and I order ahead because I'm an organized person and I don't have time to wait in line or wait in the. So I order ahead and I try and time it perfectly. And if not, that's why there's ice. It's 135 degrees in Phoenix right now. So I order ahead. I walk in. I've seen this guy a few times in there, or thing in there. It's a homeless person. It's definitely a male. And every time I'm in there, he's got I think he's homeless. I'm not really sure, but speaking of mentally ill, he's putting on makeup with a mirror.
Okay.
And
Weird.
it's all over his face. It's crazy.
Wow.
And he's wearing a dress in the middle of Starbucks. And some of you might be thinking, Cody, you need to go to a new Starbucks. This is a nice Starbucks. It's not 56th and Indian School. It's
a
nice area.
Great.
It's in Arcadia. Yeah. And this person is putting on eyeliner. He's bald. And he's 65 years old and probably 280 pounds.
Jeez.
So completely mentally ill. But anyways, long and short of it, there's male, there's female. Male, XY.
Yep.
Female, XX. That's your chromosomes. It's what God gave you. And then there's mentally ill, which is trying to defer the two or think that you're, like I said, a lampshade.
Yeah. So we came out hot, but we don't.
We did come out hot. It's been a little bit. That's why.
Yeah,
we've had a little pent up aggression, a little pent up. You know what I mean? It's called we hold it back. But we are here to talk a little bit about just what's going on in the world. But more importantly, you just finished something that, dude, I'm so proud of you, and it's so cool what you just did. And I want to talk about it, but. Chris is humble and he'll whatever, but we're going to go through each stage and we're going to talk about what he just accomplished, and him and his wife Danielle, but
Soon
they
to
both
be.
soon to be. Yeah.
Hopefully.
But I say that, and I got.
It's actually it's kind of on my to-do list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll
Mix. So I've been doing something instead of to do, it's go do. So put it on the go do list.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. But Chris just spent the last 75 days completing 75 hard.
Yes, I did. And
So cool.
It was awesome. Thank you and to Kozin for inspiring us to do this.
Sure.
It's kind of crazy how much like personal excellence is contagious. Like you guys did it, which inspired me, which inspired all your workers. It inspired my parents. Ended up doing it. Ironically, live in Chesterfield, Missouri, where Andy's from.
That's crazy.
And then it was one of the most difficult things I've done, but I would say 100% the most rewarding.
Yeah.
And everything from my relationship improved, my health improved, my business drastically improved.
Yeah. And I can see that. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy. 75 days in the scheme of things is not really long. When you're in the middle of it, it does feel long though. When you're on fucking day 30 and you're looking at that calendar, you're like, fuck, I still got 45 days left of this shit. It is. But it's in the scheme of things, 75 days is nothing. I mean, most people go through their life, 75 days is gone. Like, where did the last fucking 6 months go? Because that's how robotic some people are, not conscious in what they're doing. And
intentional with their actions and how their days go. And you don't lose any time. I did it way back in January to March, but you don't lose any time because you're not, drinking, or you're not just kind of wasting the day around. You have specific things you have to get done inside of a time frame.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just crazy how much over 75 days things can improve, with work too. Like, I think I made a post about this too. So if you haven't seen it on my Instagram, go ahead and check it out. But it's like, I didn't have a bad life before. Before doing this, I had a nice house, I had money, I had, I own a company, my relationship's great with my girlfriend's amazing, my dogs are awesome, I got the cool car, I got some watches, and all that was fine, but, deep down, I knew that I wasn't living up to my full potential.
Kind of leaving stuff on the table.
For sure. I mean, with work too, like, we started actually before you guys, probably like 6 months before, 8 months, I don't know the exact date, and like, you guys surpassed us because I think I kind of became complacent because I had some money from selling real estate and things like that, whether I wrote loans or not, made no difference to me. I was sitting pretty.
Yeah, you had 7 figures in the bank.
Exactly, right. And then it's crazy. And then, you do this challenge, and like my guys stopped drinking too.
Yeah.
They didn't do 75. Excuse me, I just ate a peanut.
You allergic to nuts?
They didn't do 75.
You allergic to nuts? You gotta watch out for the allergic to nuts people.
Yeah, be careful.
Never date a girl that's allergic to nuts.
So everyone stopped drinking. It was incredible, and I just can't speak highly enough about it.
You saw it, and let's go through that. So you saw it. So first things first, man, I think that the power of just getting it done and having kind of the cards fall where they fall and having the ripple effect happen. And, we did it first, but it's not about who does it first, it's about who does it better. I think you specifically did a really, really good job. I think from a transformation standpoint, from a business standpoint, which we'll get to, transformation standpoint, if you guys go follow Chris, it's at Chris BOCZ. Chris BOCZ. You're doing unbelievable things with social media.
Yeah.
And I know you've been working with a specific person, and you guys are doing a lot of cool things.
Yep.
If you guys go follow him, look at his reels, look at all the things that he's doing, and I'm telling you, those things came from a sober, intentional mind.
Exactly.
And it's completely night and day from where your social media was, and completely night and day from. It's funny because we talked about this like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I remember we were walking from Chipotle across the street to our old work, Schmocket Schmorgage. And we got, by the way, for those of you that go to Chipotle and get the chicken or steak quesadilla, Chris invented it, by the way. We invented it. I'm going to be honest with you. So anyways, we were getting one, and you're like, you need to get on social media, and you need to, like, people need to hear who Cody Adams is. And this was before UNBOXXD.
Yeah.
And then you literally took that and you ran with it over the last few months. It's been really cool to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you've been crushing it too, and that's where I kind of wanted to follow your lead because, it became one of those things where, on the surface I had everything, and things were good, but like everyone else, I was skipping gyms in the morning because I'd been drinking the night before. Or I would go out and drink, and we'd have a 12-hour drinking day. And Danielle and I would get in some big fight.
Dude,
truly embarrassing.
Same way. Yeah.
We've all been there.
Yeah, dude.
And it's and I really got on this mindset. I forgot what I was reading, but it's this idea of, do you control your mind or does your mind control you?
Yes.
Right. And the whole premise is, what separates us from like a monkey or us from a dog, right? Like, we all have the same urges. We have the same cravings. We all get tired. We all get horny. We all get, all these things, right? We share so many similarities, but as a human, we have the ability that despite those urges and those feelings, we still make a decision. And that's what 75 Hard is. It's non-negotiables. You just commit to it.
Yeah.
Right? And, dude, it was just so
It's
dope.
just no matter what happens in your life. And it's so cool, too, because, like, you had a lot of things which we'll get into.
Yeah,
I want to talk about your business. I want to talk about that because you guys have just been crushing. I want to talk about that.
Yes.
You ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, so this is the first drink since 75
This
Hard.
is great. Look at this. Yeah.
You'll notice what we're drinking. It's not Bud Light.
It is Miller Lite, which is a Coors product, by the way.
There you go.
Coors Light.
Cheers,
Cheers,
brother.
buddy. Congrats. Oh, that's good, man. Take
So
it.
good.
But I do want to say about you guys. Like, dude, you guys have been crushing it, which is cool. And it's cool because when you come in as a group, and we experienced this at the beginning of the year, you just experienced this. You're continuing to experience it, which is cool. But when everyone comes in and they're completely unfuckwittable because they weren't drinking the day before.
Yep.
You remember, like, back when you would, I mean, we're drinking now, but when you would drink or maybe go to dinner the night before, or you had to do something during the day. And before 70 Hard for me, I would feel a little guilty the next day, or guilty the day of when I had to go do X, Y, and Z with the dog or the girlfriend or whatever the case is, and I had to run an errand during the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I would feel like people or our team members would look at us and be like, all right, you guys are just going on fucking off or whatever the case is.
Yeah, yeah.
During 75 Hard and after, you don't feel that way because you're like, dude, I'm on my fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm unfuckwittable right now. Yes, I came in at 10:15. You know why? Because I woke up at 5:15.
Yep.
I did X, Y, and Z. I went to the gym already. I ran. You go through all these things, and I came in at 10:15. So I think it's really, really cool. But you guys saw the benefit of that. You guys have been closing a ton of loans, and obviously your brand recognition, your Google reviews. I mean, we see it. Obviously, we're competitors. We're also friends. So we look at that kind of stuff, and you guys are crushing it, man. I think, obviously you're leading the way as CFO.
Yeah, I mean, it just, again, personal excellence is contagious. When everyone's aligned, it's crazy the things that you can accomplish. We're working on so many fucking really cool things that we're super excited about, as are you guys.
Yeah.
And we're doing it at a time where the market is, in theory, shit, right?
Dude, fuck that.
I
yeah,
agree.
but we're on the same page,
yeah,
and
so
that's why we're thriving, they're dying.
Exactly, and we've done a little different approach. We focus more on the purchase side, which there's pros and cons to kind of all of it, which we can dive into, too, if you want to get into that. But I'd also like to give a shout out. So I did 75 Hard with my girlfriend Danielle.
Yeah, dude, 100%.
And honestly, I didn't think that she would actually do it because she's kind of committed like a few days before. Hey, I'm going to do it with you, and it's not something that's ever been on her radar. So I didn't think she would do it. But honestly, I don't know if I could have done it without her, because when you're doing it with someone, you had Connor, it holds each other accountable. And I have to give a shout out because she crushed it. She was up at 4:30 in the morning, hitting her Pilates workout or doing her gym workout. She would go to a 12-hour shift at the hospital because she's a nurse, and then she'd come back and she'd still go on that 45-minute evening walk with me out in the heat, right?
After walking all night, patience, and all the shit that she has to deal with.
And she held me accountable. I remember, like, early on in 75 Hard, I live in McCormick Ranch, right on the golf course, so we'd walk on the golf course. And I remember I would bring my golf clubs, and I would want to go swing, or I wanted to. And she's like, Chris, if Andy was here watching, would swinging a golf club on a golf course be considered a workout? Are you really fucking working out? And I was like, no, you're right. I'm dicking
Even
off.
to the minuscule,
the smallest thing.
You know what's crazy about the first, 15 days? And that was probably within that time frame. I don't know. I'm guessing. But those first 15 days, if you don't have somebody that's doing it with you, the first few days specifically, you have this drive, and it's like the first 3 days, you're like, I got this, I'm going to do it.
Dude.
And then it's like 4 or 5 days in, you're like, can maybe sneak in a beer.
Yeah.
I can maybe like kind of half-ass this.
Or an event comes up, like because I failed it so many times
just
too.
Restart it.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're only 5 days in. I mean, fuck, I just pushed it 5 days. So instead of stopping July 5th, which is your last day, which I'm sure July 4th was hard, but which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But like July 5th, like, fuck it. July 10th isn't that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so the first week or so is very, very unique. But yeah, Danielle crushed it, man. She looks incredible.
Yeah, lost weight.
It's cool that fucking she held you accountable and you hold her accountable, because I'll tell you, man, I genuinely, and we talked about it on the 75 Hard podcast with Connor. I couldn't have done it without him. There's no way. I don't think. I mean, I just did phase 1. He started phase 1 in April.
Yeah.
Because we had a whole thing. We were going to do phase 1, and then we were going to do, 75 hard, March 17th, done, 2 weeks off, April.
Yep.
We're going to do phase 1. He crushed it.
Yep.
I was 4 days in and stopped.
Yeah.
And then I was going to do 75 hard with you, and then I was like 6 days in, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it later. I started phase 1 May 30th and ended June 29th. So I just got done with phase 1. Yeah, which is hard. June, dude, I'll tell you what.
How was it, by the way? Was it?
Well, you're about to embark upon it.
Yeah,
Hopefully, in August, you're going to do it with us. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We'll do phase 2. You're going to do phase 1.
Yeah.
So phase, I'll tell you flat out, phase 1's fucking way harder.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's
it's
what I've
not.
heard.
It's because I'm not trying to be weak. It's just the truth. Like, you have 8 critical power lists. You're trying to power list tasks. I've been using the power list from Andy forever.
Yeah.
You have to add 3.
Yep.
And it's hard to do so because you evolve the power list from like 5 things that's like
Nonsense.
Super simple shit.
Yeah, like take it. Yeah.
Super simple shit that you have to execute on, and over time
it becomes habitual.
Habitual. So then you have to put new things on there.
Interesting.
So like my 3 were like, get 30 minutes of sun per day.
Okay,
send
that's a good one.
Send a gratuitous text message out.
Oh, I like that.
and then listen to 1 full podcast. And I changed those 3, but those were like the 3
I like that.
ones
those are all
that
reasonable.
continued to kind of to come around. And then you have to do 10 minutes of dedicated visualization, which I think is cool. I found myself a lot of times driving down Exeter and Lafayette and up in a lot of the like really nice houses to see what that looks like. Driving to really nice car dealerships. There's one in North Scottsdale, the Ferrari dealership and the Rolls-Royce dealership, and visualizing and spending 10 minutes there.
Yeah.
So I found myself doing that. And
That's
then
good.
There's
That's
always
really good.
There's always the 5-minute cold shower. And
I'll
tell you,
dude.
you're lucky you're doing it in August. I don't know how Connor did it in April, bro. I did it in June. It was nice. But I would do it after my second workout because you're hot and sweaty. It's hot as
5 minutes
Phoenix.
is a long time.
You know what I did, man? So, and Chloe will tell you too, but like...
I heard that you would send pictures to your guys.
I send
videos
I send a video.
In the shower.
Yeah, I send it. So I had Chloe take a video. It was in Denver. And I was freezing. The water in Denver is unforgiving. So I was on cold. And I'm literally running in the shower and jumping in the shower because it was so cold. What I did, though, is I put it in, like, lukewarm, and then I turned it cold as time went on and spent at least 5 minutes in there. But it was a lot harder. It was a lot harder to get things done. You learn the intentionality from 75 hard. You learn it there.
Yeah.
You learn it there.
Yeah.
But then you put it to work in phase 1.
Yeah.
You can learn it, but then you have it, which is great, but then the intentionality you got to put in phase 1. But anyways. Yeah, so you'll do phase 2. You'll do phase 1 in August.
Yeah.
When we get back, we're going to Montana.
Yeah.
It's going to be
fishing
exciting.
trip will be epic.
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
What'd you learn from some 75 hard? What are 2 or 3 things that you've learned about maybe yourself, maybe about your relationship, anything you can think of?
I mean, again, not to keep giving her a shout out, but she just proved that this girl has to be my wife. Like, there's not many girls that would give up 75
put up with you in general.
Put up with me in general. That's already a plus. But from waking up. So it's funny. We've been dating almost for over 4 years now, and the early complaints were that you're not working out consistently, you're not waking up early, you're not helping make food, you're not doing these things. And I mean, it's night and day. And her friends joke like, you literally turn into everything Chris wanted. And it's true.
Yeah.
Like over the last 4 years, she has become so dialed in. She looks incredible. I couldn't have done it without her, and that girl definitely deserves a ring. So that's on my go-do list.
Go-do, baby. Yeah, I like that. Go-do list, yeah. So that's number 1. What else? What did you learn about yourself, man?
Well, so one thing that happened because 75 days, I mean, things pop up. There's issues that pop up. Life happens. And
what do we always say? Never a dull
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment.
Yeah, Natum bomb. It's so obviously there were things that popped up. We just bought a new house, dealing with some HOA disputes and all this nonsense. But the biggest thing, and this was probably the hardest part about it, is during you might have seen on my Instagram, but during I don't know what day it was.
It was like day 31.
Yeah.
What was
interesting is early on, like the first 2 weeks, I was working out with you guys, and I had done that dumbass not thinking. I like bent over, picked up this 90-pound dumbbell without like preparing. Fucked my back up. So like there's videos of me walking out the front door. Yeah, I wore a weight belt for like 2 weeks because I literally couldn't move. I couldn't walk. There's video of me like going to do my outdoor workout, limping out of the house. Like you deal with injury, so that's the setbacks that happen. Some people's injuries are super severe, and it really does take them out.
Dude, the injury thing,
it's real.
Please don't lose your point because I want you to talk about the injury thing. I text you about it.
Yeah.
The injury thing, and maybe people that have done it that are watching this can comment below, or I know Andy's going to watch. Like, dude, my whole mindset for like the first 2 months, like the first 60 days don't get hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, it's crazy.
It takes you out. I mean, you're doing 2 workouts a day. You're tired. You are. It's physically exhausting. So you're not always. You become mentally tough, but sometimes you're kind of exhausted. 6 a.m. in the morning working out. But like, I know guys. One of my fraternity buddies, he's doing it. He was on day 50, got in a motorcycle accident, almost lost his foot. Like, you're fucked. You got to reset.
Yeah.
Or like the guy doing my social media, Scott. He was on day 65. And
Dixon Butts.
Dixon Butts. Yeah, you figured.
Dude, I know all about it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw it when it was first out. So my buddy Alex, you know Alex Jones.
Yeah.
So they know each other.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So I got him. Just side note, I got him from the Luke Rotvold.
Luke Rowe and
Jake Landis. And they're like, we got the social media guy. So he hits me up. I was like, I do need to work on my social media. I need to create a presence. Like, let's talk to him. Talks to me. I had no idea. Then he walks in the door, and I was like, he walks in my office. Like, let's film. Because his name's Scott.
Yeah.
I didn't know Dixon Butts' name was Scott.
Yeah.
And the guy walks in. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I know you.
I know you.
I've seen
You're
you.
famous, dude.
How funny is that, though?
Yeah.
It was fucking incredible.
Oh,
he had done it day 65 or something and fucked his back up and reset. Yeah. So injury was a huge obstacle.
Sure.
And then, so what had happened with me is I have 2 Australian Shepherds. I don't have kids or anything, so my dogs are basically my kids. And I had done my basic morning walk, and I was going to walk my dog. And when I was walking, the dog, he's an Australian Shepherd, so it's natural to like kind of lean at stuff and herd. And a little bunny jumped out because there's a bunch of rabbits, and I had a cheap collar, which is my fault. Like I should have had a better collar, and the collar broke. He runs in the road, and it was instantaneous. This truck comes and fucking hits him, and it was like, boom. I remember I turned around, I was like, fuck no, like you don't know what to do. Like it just, you can't do anything. And I was like, oh my god, he just died. I thought I was picking up his brains. Thank God, like. He had kind of rolled under it. He was fucked up, screaming, bleeding, whole nightmare. I pick him up, and you kind of get in this fight or flight mode. So, this is nothing compared to what some of our military veterans have seen. But I imagine the feeling's the same, where you just kind of like you react, and you don't have a chance to feel it or think. You just react. So I grabbed the dog. Thank God the guy stopped in his car. We get in the car. I have him drive me to this emergency vet. They end up saving his life. He like tore some. It was the worst. And after all that, that's when you break down. You're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And that was where. And I know you're not supposed to make agreements with God or ask, say, if you do this, I'll do this. But I did say, like, listen, if you save this dog, I will be in church every fucking Sunday.
Good.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, and you have been.
And I have been every Sunday. I know. And so the dog ended up making it, but it was super. That was difficult. Still had to do my workout that night. Fucking walking, crying, like, holy
pissed
shit.
off, don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, 24 had to be watched overnight for 48 hours, so the air in his lungs didn't explode. It was just fucking exhausting, but we still committed to it. Danielle and I were fucking committed, and then after that,
just hold on a second. So, for those of you watching or maybe listening, hold on. Your dog that you've had, how old is Bauer? 6?
7 now.
7.
He's my OG.
He's your dog.
Yeah.
Like there's a Bauer the Aussie is the Instagram handle.
Yeah.
Please go look at the dog. But his like best friend.
Yeah, literally.
Gets hit by a car day like 35. I don't know what day it was. It was pretty early on.
It was, yeah.
And it's like you spend hours at the hospital. Your emotions, you go from shock to fight or flight to fuck, the dog's going to be okay. You're making agreements with God. And then all of a sudden, you have to go do your second workout.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm trying to make is that's called commitment. That's called integrity. He could have easily not went and worked out.
Had a good reason.
Had a good reason. Stopped, started over. That's crazy. And for a lot of you, you stub your fucking toe. And you're like, I can't go work out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or I had a bad day at work. I'm going to go drink 15 beers. Or, my girlfriend and I are fighting. I don't want to go. I'm going to go eat shitty food.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with this?
Totally.
Or like, I got this much water left. Fuck it. I have things to do. This guy went through like one of the most traumatic things you can go through. Almost lost his dog.
Life, yeah.
In your life.
Yeah.
And continued not only the program, but then went and worked out last night. So the point is, only 1 or 2% of the population actually finishes 75 hard. You're looking at 2 people that did it. Obviously, Connor's one of them. Danielle's one of them.
Yep.
People that we surround ourselves with.
Yeah.
And that's called commitment, folks. Not only is it called commitment, but like it's also integrity, and it's something to be revered because there's not a lot of people that would have done that.
For sure. And that was the biggest challenge. And then, after that I had to do surgery, and he had to have one leg tied up, and he couldn't put any weight on it. So literally I would have to carry this dog with me everywhere. I had a portable crate I put inside my fucking Benz.
Yeah.
I'd drive it to the office. I'd be with him, and then he couldn't walk. So I'd have to pick this dog up, walk him out 100 yards to go make him go pee, have to hold his leg up for fucking 6 weeks. Thank God, again, he's good. Like, I'm so incredibly blessed. But that was by far the hardest thing, because life happens.
Dude,
and the question is, when life happens, are you going to abandon everything and let your life unravel?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the case. I think you double down on the challenge.
Correct. And that's the one thing, that has to be one of the biggest, besides Danielle deserves a ring. Danielle, you deserve a ring, by the way.
She does.
But the second thing is when life unravels, do you? And
yeah.
Obviously you're a walking testimony. Your test became your testimony at this point.
Yeah.
And now it's something that you've learned, but then also I've felt the same way, and I'll tell you that's something that sticks with you forever.
Yeah.
Like
it made it all the
you'll
more
never forget it.
And then to end it all off, I mean, I ended up I posted a kind of a montage thing of me working out at the end with the First Form shirt.
So sick.
And it had Andy's voice in the background. It was fucking a cool video. And
he reposted, by the way.
Yeah, so then he ends up seeing it because, I think Corey shared it and they follow, whatever. He ends up seeing it. He ends up DMing me. He ends up following me and sharing it on his story. They got like 45,000 likes, which I've never gotten before, like my Instagram follower. But that was the icing on top, because I've always said that, like, Andy's one of the 3 guys that, like, if you had to pick 3 people to meet, it'd be
me too.
Andy Purcell. I followed him for over a decade.
Yeah.
Like, since MFCEO. It would be Trump, because I'm a Trump guy, and Tom Brady, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe throw in Andrew Tate.
And you had one that's DM'd you, reposted you.
And ironically, our friend Connor is going to be going on his podcast, which is fucking awesome for him.
August, yeah.
And my family lives down the street, so it's just kind of a crazy, like, it is. Life is really fucking crazy.
Life is crazy, man. And you surround yourself with the right people. I saw this thing today. If you are around 5 smokers, you'll become the 6. If you're around 5 millionaires, you'll become the 6.
Yeah.
Life's about choices.
Yeah.
And we made choices a long time ago to do this podcast. We made choices a long time ago to work out and be healthy. We made choices recently and a long time ago to do 75 hard.
Yeah.
Or try and surround ourselves with people that ultimately are of high caliber and high value.
Yeah.
And then ultimately we're becoming those people. So it's really cool to see.
It really is. And it's really, I've always believed that it's important to support all your friends. Like, we're competing businesses, like
we're also best friends.
We're also best friends. So my point is, like, the way I look at it is, hey, if you guys make fucking $10 million tomorrow, guess what?
I'm going
to be on the private jet too, and I'm probably going to make another $10 million. It's just like, it's inevitable,
Yeah.
And I think the other thing I really learned through this experience is it's really crazy the amount of support and the amount of people that are watching. And you have people that you may not even have talked to in a decade reaching out, like, saying how much you inspired them and thank you for being vulnerable, and, like, people, the caption you posted, like, literally moved me, because there's people want to improve, and when they see someone else doing it, some look at it like, oh, fuck them, they go talk shit and they go back with their their loser friends that all live this miserable life, or there's others that have some self-reflection, and
there's always that one person too that wants to break out of that group. You know what I'm saying? There's always that one that's like, fuck, man, like what spark, what trigger, what human, there's something that needs to happen in my life. Maybe it's a significant emotional event. Something happens to them where they flip and they change and they get out of that rut or that movement. And then, I think, I think you're right. I think that everybody has a version of themselves that they think about. Wes Watson talks about the 10.0 version of himself. Yeah. Everyone, like, a lot of times, to be honest, when you're hungover and you're like hating yourself from doing the shit that you used to do, the next day you're like, I'm never going to drink. How many of you said that? I'm never going to drink. I'm going to get in the gym. I'm going to eat healthy. And like, you have this vision and this view of yourself that you want to go attack and be like. Yes. And then your habits, your circle, your thoughts put you right back in that same spot.
Well said.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has this vision, this view of themselves. You just have to make the commitment to be there. And 75 hard is something, obviously, that gets you there.
Yeah, yeah. And it goes to the do you control your mind or does your mind control you?
Sure.
After a hangover, everyone's feeling the consequences of their actions, so they're regretful. But as soon as that hangover goes away, all of a sudden they get the itch to go get a drink or itch to skip the gym or itch to eat the Taco Bell. And
decision do you make? Life's about choices, dude.
It's it.
100%.
That's all it is decisions. And guess what? You can point at people doing really well in life over a course of, say a decade. And the ones that are doing well, when they were given two choices, they typically choose the right one.
100%.
You don't have to always make the right decision, but you have to make mostly right decisions. The person that is mostly bad, we all know the guy who, like, when he is given two choices, he fucks it up every time.
Yes.
And that's why his life is miserable.
Fork in the road, good decision, bad decision.
That's all it is, man.
If you can do it, and it's more than half of the time. It doesn't have to be 80 or 90%.
Yeah.
More than half
the
time.
I'd say 60% you make good decisions over 40% bad.
You're going to be in a good spot.
You're going to be pretty good over time.
Dude, it even goes to show, like, you look at someone that's 70 years old. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I was thinking about this randomly. But RFK Jr. Dude's fucking shredded.
Yeah.
You think he's made the right choices body-wise and food-wise?
We're taking health advice from Bill Gates' fat ass.
Yeah, that's my point. I was just going to say, on the other side, we have somebody that's 70 years old that's Bill Gates, and he is a fat fuck that eats crickets.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Well, so he doesn't eat choices. We're supposed to eat them.
Oh, we're supposed to eat them.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to eat the genetically modified meats and
milk.
And have no cars and just live in the city.
You're going to like having nothing. And
yes.
You'll like it, too, or whatever it is.
Dude, yeah. You'll have nothing to be happy.
What was something, as we kind of round out the episode, but thanks for doing this, by the way.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you for having me.
What was something that was like the most challenging thing? I got a few more questions for you, but most challenging thing you do besides
in terms of the challenge,
the actual challenge. So
hard.
it's two 45-minute workouts. One has to be outside.
Yep.
Both can be outside, but one has to be outside. Episode 208 on the Real AF feed. You can look at this, but a gallon of water per day.
Yep.
No cheat meals, no alcohol.
Yep.
Read 10 pages per day.
Yep.
And then I think that's it. Am I crazy? I just did phase 1. So mine's
you're good.
But anyways, what was the hardest part?
I thought the hardest part would be the not drinking, but it is, like I said, the amount of support was actually pretty overwhelming. And it was cool to like. People didn't question. And ironically, when I stopped drinking, I almost felt bad because I didn't go full antisocial mode. I would still go to some part or like see friends or like hang out with friends, but I would not drink.
That's a testament to your will, by the way.
Yeah, right. But it was interesting because like I kind of felt bad because I was not drinking. So my friends would be watching and they wouldn't start drinking.
Feel a little guilty.
It would take them a while.
Yeah.
Where like normally we'd come in, hey bro, you want a beer? Like let's start getting after it.
We're also like the guys.
Yeah, there is.
It's
we're the temperature gauge. If we're fucking sending it, everyone else is gonna. Not to toot our own horn.
It is though. We're the guys that always buy shots. We're like, you want a shot? Yeah. We're doing it. So
yeah, exactly. The kind of the hype man.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. So I thought that'd be the hardest. It actually wasn't. We were pretty good at that. Honestly, the hardest thing was the workouts. You got to do 2. And they're supposed to be 3 hours apart, right? And so that would mean we'd have to do it at night. So I'm always been a morning routine, knock everything out, have my day, come home, you're exhausted, and call it a night. Or maybe get your reading in. But that was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, because you come home and you're like, fucking, I want to relax, chill.
Yeah.
I've done everything on my list. I want to go to sleep. Yeah, that was 100%.
And towards the end there, like these walks, you'd be like, fuck this. Like, I can't wait not to do this evening walk. You know, it's just like
100%.
Not that it was super challenging. I mean, it was just fucking, you're just exhausted.
Yeah.
And then, it also, it definitely challenges your relationship too, because you're both tired. And when you're tired, you're cranky. And when you're hungry, you're cranky. And like
when you're not drinking a glass of wine, you're kind of cranky.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Honest,
it's just the way it is. But
you have habits since you're 21 until you're now almost 30.
Dude, yes.
You're like, I've been drinking wine, having a good time with my wife for a long time. Yeah, I'm a little cranky. I want to veg out.
Dude, and then so some of those walks would be like, God, I'm so fucking mad. Like, I'm hungry and you're pissing me off, and I'm tired, and you just silently walk for 45 minutes. All right, good night. Like, it was just funny to see.
What was your diet like? What'd you do just for the people so they can get a graph?
Yeah, so
because again, it's a diet. You got to stick to a diet. Like,
yeah, you choose your own.
Yeah, like
whatever meets your goals.
For my fat ass, I had to lose weight, so like I had to do specific things. What was your diet like?
Mine, I kept it pretty simple. I know some people can get real in depth with macros and carbs and sugars, the whole nine. I really just kept it 220 grams of protein over. So I had my breakfast always set up so I got a ton of protein in, and then just kept my fats under 80 grams.
Nice.
That was it, because like Kozin, he had done under 40s for a period of time,
crazy, yeah.
Which is you don't really, and he was right. He's like, just one day track your macros for what you typically eat.
Yeah.
And we're down here in Arizona. We got Mexican food and tacos and burritos.
Guacamole,
you don't realize
sour
the
cream,
guac,
maybe, and some cheese.
Exactly. You don't realize that you are eating so much fat. So 80 was good for me, where I like I said, I actually lost weight, which wasn't necessarily the goal, but I feel fucking incredible.
Yeah, you're shredded.
Yeah,
you guys got to watch. You guys got to go to his thing.
Yeah, check it out.
His Instagram. What is I know you're going to do phase 1 in August with us, and we're doing phase 2.
Yeah.
What is the future like? Are you going to do the whole Live Hard program?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I just want to do it.
Yeah. Sweet.
So I'll do that. I haven't planned out the other two, but phase 2 is easier, right? Phase 2 just
phase 2 75 hard, just 1 month. Has to be a month after, so you'd have to
phase
do it.
3 is
the last month, so it's the hard. I mean, not the hardest, but for me, like
they add more stuff though.
Christmas.
Too.
Yeah, you got to go meet people. And
so you're be around Christmas time.
Yeah, you have to do it the last 30 days of the year.
Okay, so since I started, I think I started May 1st.
Yeah,
it's a year from May 1st though, right? I have to complete all 4.
We'll look at the episode 2.
I think you guys started January 1st perfectly.
Yeah, which I think I'm going to do the exact same thing. If you really look at it, which is really
I think
cool,
it's a year from when you
first
started.
I think
so.
So.
If I started
I think you're
May,
right.
I have until May of next year to
I think
get
you're right. We'll look at it. You know what's really cool about it though is that if you look at all in, it's 165 days of a 365 day year. We call it on program, where you're doing it, you're not drinking, you're eating right, you're doing all these 2 workouts a day, you're kicking ass and taking aims. But for 165 days, it's 30, 30, 30, and 75, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
What is that? 180?
30,
it's 165?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for 200 days a year, you can be whatever you want to be. For 165 days out of the year, you're kicking ass and taking names. Now, what you'll find is that after those 165 days of kicking ass and taking names, the other 200 days are not like your previous self prior to doing 75 hard.
Dude, you're so right.
It's not.
Because you can't go back.
No, 100%. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm all set. We might be having a beer here, and it's, nostalgic and having a good time.
Exactly, yeah.
But, dude, I fucking woke up at 5. I'm off program. I stopped June 29th.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, what's today? July 10th? 7th? July 7th.
Yeah.
I've been off program. I woke up at 5, or I woke up at 3. It's so we had a fucking terrible review on our billboard. Have you seen this yet?
No.
I'll talk to you after. It's
fuck.
Great. They call this racists.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
For no reason.
Wait.
Said between the kinfolk name and between the woke, it seems like it's a veiled white supremacy ad campaign.
Fuck.
Could you imagine? You know what's great though? You know what's awesome?
Oh, dude, it's gonna
complete side note. And I'm doing a whole podcast about this after.
Okay, good.
We had 4 people, Chris. We're 100% lead to credit. 4 people reach out this week. We've pulled 4 credits.
Yep.
We're helping 4 people just from that campaign.
Pays for it, all of it.
We've had 6 news publications reach out to get commentary. I swear to God.
Wow.
We had the Phoenix New Times reach out. We had all kinds of people reach out.
Yeah, be careful though. Some of those will
I know.
try to do hippies.
Yeah.
Just be.
But you remember Wolf of Wall Street? They call it Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he's
Woofy,
like
Woofy, Woofy.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We got a good PR guy.
Dude,
but
it's
it's
exciting.
Awesome. And then all of a sudden, boom! Last night, 3 a.m, I don't know why I was awake, but I woke up.
Yeah.
Probably God.
Yeah.
I look at my phone. I see this fucking dirt bag comment on it, and I'm like. And knee-jerk reaction is like, I don't know where I'm going. Fuck you, motherfucker. It's like what I wanted to do and just crush him. And like, because we have like technology, I can like find his address and shit. So I wasn't going to do that. You remember the town? I don't know what we're doing. I don't know where we're going, but whose car are we taking?
Yeah.
It didn't happen. And cooler heads prevail and we'll figure it out. But anyways, I don't know where I was going with it. But my point is, I forgot what was.
Well, dude, I mean,
Sorry.
That's unfortunate, but it's also kind of awesome. And Andy says, people are so scared that it's the backlash that they're going to come for you if you stand by your values. And the irony is there will be some asshole at 3 a.m. who's leaving a review just to be a prick. But I'm telling you, more people support you than you think. And we've talked about this 1,000 times. Social media has given voices to people that the voice is not that big. Same with this transgender movement, the BLM, all this nonsense. They're not that big of Antifa. They're not that big of groups.
Correct.
But social media makes it seem like they're out to get us, and we have to be careful. That's the point. It's fear.
Yeah.
So don't ever post anything controversial.
No,
don't post any
politics. That's why we do this
Cody.
Podcast.
Exactly right. We don't give a fuck, and we've gotten more support because of it. You have no idea the amount of support, and those are the customers we want, frankly.
And it's the same support. That's where I was going. The same support that we had doing 75 hard or phase 1 and so on and so forth. It's the same exact thing. And you never go back to the person that you used to be. Once you actually push that threshold, you have that support. We've been pushing our podcast for the better part of a year and a half now.
Yeah.
We did things prior. We've been on social media, very active and vocal about our views. And I'll tell you right now, guys, for those of you that are watching, and I know we just kind of took a hard right or hard left, but I'm telling you right now, the things that you are in your heart of hearts that you want to talk about, that you want to say, and you might be nervous that your employer might fire you, we'll hire you, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, they're not going to, because there's laws in place, and there's this thing called the First Amendment, which is the right to free speech.
Yep.
And then also, you only live like one life. So whatever is on your heart, you need to say, because you don't want to be a person filled with regret on their deathbed saying, I should have. And you might be thinking social media is this little thing. Social media is the biggest thing that's ever been in anybody's lives.
Yep.
Everybody's on it. Everybody's doing it. It is a thing. Do I wish that was the case? Maybe not. But I'm telling you right now. So the things that maybe you're holding back from social media or holding back from your friends, your viewpoints, you can't be apathetic, and you need to share those things.
Dude.
Otherwise, you're going to be on your fucking deathbed, and you'll be really fucking pissed off that you didn't.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
No, that was fucking well said.
Yeah.
I mean, it might put a little stress on you, but the truth ultimately prevails. And you're right. Once you do 75 hard, you don't go back.
Yes.
So those 200 days you're off. I mean, you can still have fun. Like, it's not like the program is not meant that you cannot do anything, And I don't think you'd want to not do anything. Like, part of life is enjoying your friends and like going on a fishing trip and drinking some beers on the golf course.
Montana for fucking 6 days.
Yeah, what is the point of
life?
What's the point of being? Why do you want to be wealthy if it's not to obviously it's support your family, support your community, be able to help your friends, but also share like these moments and these memories and these experiences and. But when you are focused on 75 hard,
it's a whole
awesome.
game changer.
And you'll see your friends also improve too.
It's the switch flip. My point that I woke up at 3. That happened at 5:15. I'm off. At 5, you're off too. Enjoy your time. At 5:15, I woke up. I went and got coffee at the coffee shop that I always go to. I read 10 pages.
Nice.
I'm reading
That's
Getting to Neutral by Trevor Moawad. I then went to Body and I did Sweat. I changed my shirt and I went and lifted with Connor at Independence Gym.
Wow.
Then I went and got a haircut. My point is, I'm off. I don't need to do any of this stuff. But I'm doing it because I'm so used to doing it.
Yeah.
It is just how my life is now at this point.
Dude, I mean,
I might add in a few drinks or have a piece of pizza because I'm off program.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Correct.
But I can't stress enough. One, I'm so proud of you, buddy.
Thank
Love
you, man.
buddy.
Hey, appreciate you. I'm proud of you too.
We're going to continue to fucking dominate and kick ass. But when you are on program, things change. So the point of this podcast is, one, to share Chris's experience and our experience and maybe some shit talking about culture and shit.
Yeah.
But it's also
feathers.
That's what we do. But it's also to get you guys in a perspective, because we're just human beings.
Yeah,
Like,
we're no better than anyone
humans.
else. I put this in my post. I'm
Yeah.
no better than you.
Not at all. Like, I bleed the same way you do. I cry the same way you do. I'm jealous sometimes with my relationship, just like you are.
Yep.
I'm gluttonous like you are. I'm envious like you are.
Yep.
I have this. We all sin.
It's
we're
human.
human beings.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I'm telling you guys, right now, we're not better. But I promise you, hopefully, this inspires you, because
That's
I
the
promise it'll
point.
change your life.
Yeah, and I think if it doesn't inspire you, you somehow feel like an animosity towards us. I think deep down, if you did some self-reflection, you know that you're not accomplishing all the things that you can. And you know there's things you can improve to be better physically, mentally, emotionally, every relationship-wise. So I think that's important, is you have some self-reflection. I had self-reflection. You'd had self-reflection.
Dude.
And it's not that you had a bad life. It's just you knew you could do more.
Don't leave anything on the table.
Exactly.
100%.
So,
All right, dude.
hey, good
Love
shit,
you.
man.
Follow us at Leaders Lead Winners Win is the new channel. Unbox is on there because we got in trouble on YouTube.
Yep.
Hopefully with Trump's appointee, we just had the social media thing
Hopefully
come
it
down. So
chills
hopefully
out.
the freedom of speech can come out and we can actually promote Unbox. We're also on Rumble. Follow us on Rumble. Follow at Mr. Cody Adams on Instagram and at Threads. I
And then
don't know
at
if you got
Chris
Threads
Bocz.
yet, but you should get Threads.
We'll see. Here's the
It's
thing.
fun. I know it's tough. Should we talk about it?
Real quick,
I do have to pee like a fucking horse.
Real quick, 30
My
seconds.
back teeth are fucking floating.
The problem is Twitter is the free speech, and
I
they just
agree.
copied Twitter. And
Do you think they're gonna
and
sue 'em?
Literally, I already know people that have already been banned off of it. So why would I join a Twitter that is openly for censoring opinions?
Yeah.
And I know it's the early things. You get in early, you kind of
Sexy.
miss the boat.
30 million people in fucking one day.
But I guess they're giving them a cease and desist. That'll be interesting to play out. We'll do an episode on it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. Anyways, guys, Cody, thank you for having me.
you, man.
And guys, highly recommend 75 Hard. It'll change your life, change mine, and we'll see you next time.
Kick some ass, take some names, motherfuckers.